Okay, Aaron, can you read us the objective, please? On three, everyone. 1, 2, 3. So we know the process completing the square, don't we? Do we know the quadratic formula? Yes. The word derive means we're going to abstract. We're going to get the quadratic formula from something else. So I asked you guys to title your blank sheet of paper Deriving the Quadratic Formula. Because by now we know that we don't need a Fermat model because we know what quadratic equations are. We don't need steps because we already have steps for all the process for completing the square. And plus, we don't need the process because it's already in here. We've been doing this already for a couple of days, right? So, at this time, you title your notes Deriving the Quadratic Formula. So, from this point forward, what I'm going to ask you to do, you're going to help me derive it, but don't write anything down. I want you to follow along. I'm going to write down everything, and then at the end, you're going to copy, because I want you to understand the process. And if you're taking notes as we're going along, some of you are worried more about taking notes than understanding what we're doing. Does that make sense? So please do not take notes. I'm going to ask you questions, you're going to answer, and we're going to continue on to derive the quadratic formula, okay? So, to get started, I'm going to start with a standard form of a quadratic equation. Look up, please. Here it goes. ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. And we're going to solve this equation. And you're saying, oh my goodness, we don't have any numbers. That is correct. This is going to be pure algebra. Now you, okay, once again, I said not to write. No. So, everyone, what is step one when solving a quadratic equation? Is it in standard form? Yes. But in order to solve this equation, y needs to be what? 0. So I need to rewrite ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Are we there so far? Yes. Okay. Step 2 for completing the square. Esteban. Help him out. Jordan. Step 2 for completing the square is what? Aiden. Divide by the leading coefficient. What's our leading coefficient? A. That is correct. So we divide by A divided by A, we're left with x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equal to 0. Next, step 3. Everyone, eliminate the constant. And notice the process is the same. The only thing now we don't have any numbers, but we're doing it all with variables. Subtract c over a, subtract c over a, and then we're left with x squared plus b over ax. I'm going to leave a space equal. I'm going to leave another space minus c over a. Are we there so far? Step 4. This is where it starts getting interesting. For step 4, we said we need to complete the square, don't we? Which means we need to add what? B over 2 squared. You guys remember that? Okay, so let me zoom in. So by looking at this equation right here, what is B? B over A. So I'm going to add B over A, and instead of doing over 2, what do I do? Divided by 2 squared. Add b over a divided by 2 squared. Can I simplify this more? Yes. This becomes b over a times what? 1 over 2 squared. b over a times 1 over 2 squared. Tell your neighbor how we got this. By now, we should be able to understand that. In the meantime, I'll bring this down. All right, I can still simplify. Is that correct? So, Kaylee, what do I get with this? Trent, help her out. That is correct. 1b over 2a squared. And I bring everything else down. X squared plus b over ax plus that equal to that minus c over a. Okay? I can still simplify. So this is taking us to the beginning of the year. Hopefully you'll see it. Nathan, what do I write here? You weren't paying attention, so you're going to know, right? Okay. Jason, what do I get from here to write it here? What is this? I'm going to let you write. Close. B squared. Over 2a squared. So what is 2a squared? 4a squared. That is correct. For those of you that don't see it, think back to the beginning of the school year, the second week. Yes? Okay? And that's how we get this. So, b squared over 4a squared. I bring everything else down. X squared plus b over ax plus that equal to that minus c over a. So we already simplified as much as we could. Is that correct? So let me go back to our steps. Let's see. Did we have it in standard form? Set it equal to 0. Eliminate the constant. Added b over 2 squared, yes, and then we simplified all the way that step. Step 5 for completing the square. Ale. Mikey. Step 5 for completing the square. Jaden. Taking the square root, but what is that step called? Factor. That is correct. So let me zoom in. Since this is a perfect squared, we're going to factor by taking the square root of the first and the last. So tell me what to write, Jaden. Hands if you understood where we got this from. Talk it over with your neighbor, let them know how we got this. Okay, so we got that. Now, we need to simplify this, and this should look familiar now, doesn't it? Turn to your neighbor, let them know what we need to do to these two right here. Jacob, what do I do? Okay, so what do I multiply this by? 4a, and this by 4a. Hands if you understand what we just did. Yes, because we're finding the common denominator. So the common denominator for these two is 4a squared, so I'm left this one with b squared, and on top we have 4a times c, that's 4ac. So, common denominator is what? 4a squared, and then I add the numerators. Let me draw my heart. Can I combine these? No, so what do I write? b squared minus 4ac. Are we there so far? All right, so we're done up to step 5. Let me zoom out. Okay, up to step 5. So now we're on our last step. Step number 6. We need to take the square root first. Let's see if we're there already. Are we there? Yeah. So why do I take the square root? Because I need to cancel this squared. Square root, square root. Now let me zoom in so that we can see a little bit up close. This cancels this, so we're left with what? X plus b over 2a equals. Can we take a square root of a negative number? No, there's no such thing. So therefore, the numerator, we cannot take the square root. Can we take the square root of the denominator? Yes. So I'm going to leave the numerator the same, b squared minus 4ac. But since I can't do anything else, I'm going to put the little plus and minus sign right there. So what is square root of 4? 2. What is square root of a squared? A. Yes. Of a negative number? Okay. Let's solve for x. What do I need to do here, everyone? Subtract b over 2a. Subtract b over 2a. And we're left with x equals minus b over 2a. And then the other fraction is plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Do you see how we have two fractions here? Do they have a common denominator? Yes. Yes. What would be our common denominator? 2a. So what do we have left, everybody? X equals minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And what is this? The quadratic formula. Everybody's like, what just happened? Isn't that cool? And we just derived the quadratic formula from what? From a standard form of an equation, quadratic equation. So you're like, what just happened? Copy this, please. Copy that, and then I'll scroll up as soon as I see that you're ready for the next one. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Make sure you're writing down your 6 steps for completing the square on the side, at least abbreviated. So like that you know what step you're on as you're doing the process. I'm going to scroll down just a tad bit. Okay. Let me scroll down a little bit more. And for those of you that have colored pens and so on and so forth, that's why I use the same color for the step that I did over here so that you don't get lost. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you have your colored pens, use your pens so you can get organized. Let me pause this for a little bit. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. And the last. Everybody done? No. Okay. Come on, tomatoes. Copy that. Okay? So let me recap. We started off with a standard form quadratic equation. And step 1 for completing the square is standard form. The only thing to solve this, we need to make y equal to what? 0. Step 2, divide by the leading coefficient. Leading coefficient was a. There it is. From there, we eliminated the constant. Yes, we did. We added b over 2 squared to complete the square. Yes, there it is. And we simplified as much as we could. From there, we factor each side. We factored this side by using the shortcut, which is square root of the first and the third term. We get this squared equal to this, and we combine it by finding the common denominator. There it is. Step 6, which is the last step, we take the square root of this to cancel this squared. We end up with x plus b over 2a. We can't take the square root of the numerator because that's negative, so it stays as plus minus square root of b squared minus 4a, ac. And the denominator, 4a squared, we can take the square root. That's why we end up with 2a. From there, we solve for x, so we subtract b over 2a to each side. There's 2 fractions here. Common denominator is 2a, and that's how we end up with our quadratic formula. Fairly simple? Good. Turn your paper over, please. Write this down. Deriving the quadratic formula. Yes. I'm sorry? Where's the what? It's flashing? Oh, no. Maybe the projector had an impact with what we just did there. It's like, what just happened? All right, Esteban, tell me what to write. No, tell me what to write. Don't look at your notes. Trent. Write that down, please. That is correct. Standard form of a quadratic equation. Since it's already in standard form, and we need to solve this, what do I do next? Jordan. Make it equal to 0. So ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Step 2. Caleb. Don't look at your notes. Divide by the leading coefficient. Leading coefficient is what? A. So we're like x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equal to 0. Step 3. David. Eliminate the constant, or c. Therefore, what do I do, Nathan? Nathan, the only Nathan. Aiden? Minus c over a minus c over a. We're left with x squared plus b over ax, leave an empty space, equal, leave a space, minus c over a. Step 4. Tanner. We have an empty space here, so what would be our 4th step? That's step 5. Aaron. B over 2 squared. Yes, we need to add that to complete the square. So, tell me what to write, Aaron. No, before that. B over a divided by 2 squared. That is correct. b over a divided by 2 squared. Continue, Kayla. Tell me what you write.
B over A.
Oh, sorry. B over A
Times 1 over 2.
times 1 over 2 and all that squared to each side. B over A times 1 over 2 squared. Bring everything else down. X squared plus B over AX plus equal to minus C over A. Continue, Cassandra. What does this become? Thank you. B over 2A squared. B over 2A squared. Bring everything else down. X squared plus B over AX plus equals minus C over A. Ash, what does this become?
It becomes B squared over 4A squared.
That is correct. B squared over 4A squared, and bring everything else down. X squared plus B over AX plus that equal to that minus C over A. All right, that was step 4. Is that correct? Okay, so let me zoom out to see where we're at. Step 5. Genesis. Factor. So let's see. Oh, my goodness, flies. How do I factor? Jen? Square root of the first and square root of the third. So tell me what to write. B over 2A and all that squared equals. Tell me on this side, please, Caleb.
4A.
Oh, multiply it times 4A. Okay. So I end up with two fractions. 4A squared, B squared, and 4AC. So that becomes what? What's in the numerator? What? What does this become here? Help them out. Oh, B squared over. That is correct. So we're done with step 5. Let's go to the last steps. Did everybody understand this part? Yes? All right. Joaquin, what do I do? Italia, help him out. Square root and square root. This cancels this. We're left with x plus b over 2a equals, can we take the square root of the numerator here? No, so it remains plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac, but the denominator becomes what? 2a. Continue, Mikey. What do I do from there? Perla. Luis. Subtract b over 2a, subtract b over 2a. We end up with x equals negative b over 2a And then the other fraction is plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now we have two fractions. And my last step, Nathan. Tell me what to write. Square root. And that's our quadratic formula. Show me, friends, how comfortable you are with these. Okay, we got some 3s, 4s, 1s, 4s, 5s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 4s, 4s. And that's why, therefore, get it, 4? Tonight, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get home, you're going to get a blank sheet of paper, you're going to title it, Deriving the Quadratic Formula. How many times? 6. So, listen to the process. Here it goes. You're going to get home, you're going to get a blank sheet of paper, you're going to write this down. You're going to start by deriving it. You might get stuck, so you're going to look at your notes. Continue, get stuck, look at your notes. Continue, get stuck, look at your notes. Turn your paper over. You're going to do a second time also. Get help from your notes, but hopefully try to make it without looking at your notes. A third time on a separate sheet. You're going to do a third time. Try to do it without looking at your notes. If you must, and you do. But the fourth time, you should be able to derive the quadratic formula without looking at your notes. And of course, your fifth and sixth time is so they can go into memory. Does that make sense? Yeah, do that on the blank sheet of paper. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home play. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.